Did any of you guys get a jab from Johnson & Johnson? Were you aware that the FDA just revoked the use of this drug here in our country? Now, I know that it's not that shocking, but still, it's insane to think that these shots were being provided to so many people not so long ago. But here's another good one. Do you guys think that we now live in a one-party system? That's what many critics of the Biden administration say as the weight of the charges on former President Donald Trump continues to be piled on. Meanwhile, any evidence against the Biden family and their alleged corruption remains hidden. Is this what's really happening in our country? And we're going to be talking about multiple programs that continue to provide checks to struggling Americans. One of them has now been expanded and will be giving out $1,000 a month permanently. Do you think that these checks should be made mandatory at the federal level? Or would it just be impossible for the government to send out billions of dollars worth of cash to Americans? All right, guys, you know we like to just jump right into the facts. Also, by the way, if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. There's a link in the description down below. All right, guys, so, we're going to start off hot with these 3 different locations in our country that will all have the same goal: provide financial assistance, or what I can call as a sort of a stimulus check for the residents. So let's go ahead and start off with New York and the Bridge program. So this is a monthly cash payment program that gives new moms $1,000 to $500 per month in order to help out with their finances within the first 3 years of a baby's life. So basically, they give participants $1,000 a month for the first 18 months and then $500 for the remainder of those 3 years. This guaranteed income program used to be temporary, but lawmakers are now discussing to make it a staple of their city's goal to address economic inequality. All right, so from New York, let's go ahead and head over to New Mexico, where eligible taxpayers should expect to receive anywhere between $500 to $1,000 as tax rebates. Their governor, Michelle Lujan Grisham, she said this about the financial help that people are getting back in April. Quote, "Prices for basic necessities continue to be high across the nation. Our state today is in a fantastic financial position, and it's important to me that New Mexico's families are sharing in that success." End quote. So payments will be received either through direct deposits or good old-fashioned paper checks. All right, so let's go ahead and move over to Harris County, as they have just approved a pilot program called the Uplift Harris program. This is scheduled to send out $500 a month to 1,500 low-income households in the county. Recipients, much like the other guaranteed income programs, will be picked randomly. Their commissioner, Rodney Ellis, said this, quote, "Families report improvements to their physical health and mental health, being able to spend more time with their children, and a greater sense of self-determination when they are entrusted with the resources that they need to build a better life." End quote. You know what? I think that anybody would feel better if they were provided with more cash every single month, don't you think? Now, there is some hesitancy, though, even from residents in the area, with one saying this, quote, "If you give money, people don't want to work, to look for a job, to look for the good life." End quote. Do you guys agree with this? Is the promise of providing free money making people lazy? Or is this exactly what a lot of people need, as expenses aren't coming down anytime soon? Now, on that note, FBI Director Christopher Wray, he can breathe a sigh of relief as he's not going down. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, he just canceled their plans to hold Wray in contempt of Congress, as he has now agreed to share a file to all members of the committee instead of just a select few. So a file that seemingly connects the then VP Joe Biden to a bribery scheme worth millions of dollars. So here's what Comer had to say about it. Quote, "The FBI has caved and is now allowing all members of the Oversight and Accountability Committee to review this classified record that memorializes a confidential human sources conversations with a foreign national who claimed to have bribed then Vice President Joe Biden." End quote.
On Capitol Hill, House Republicans, they're not going to hold the FBI director in contempt of Congress. It all surrounds a document the GOP claims provides proof that then Vice President Biden was involved in a pay-to-play scheme with foreign nationals. Our Tom Dempsey is live in Washington this morning with the latest. Tom.
Hey, good morning, Adrian. Yeah, this morning we know that the House Oversight Committee will no longer be pursuing a contempt of Congress vote scheduled for later today against FBI Director Christopher Wray. This all revolves around that FBI document about an unverified tip that describes an alleged criminal scheme involving then Vice President Joe Biden taking money in exchange for favorable foreign policy decisions. Comer and the highest ranking Democrat on the committee, Jamie Raskin, got to see this document known as an FDIC FD 1023 form, which describes conversations with a confidential source. Both walked away, though, with very different conclusions. Comer believed the document suggested Mr. Biden accepted a bribe when serving as vice president. Raskin, though, called the document, quote, secondhand hearsay and said it stemmed from a claim from Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, that Biden and his son became involved in a criminal scheme in Ukraine. He also pushed the fact that the Department of Justice, under Attorney General Bill Barr, nominated to the position by former President Donald Trump, chose not to proceed with this investigation.
I guess they were playing a very risky game of chicken here, and Ray had to swerve out of the way. The continued attempt of the FBI to try and keep this from lawmakers has some people saying that they're being used by the Biden administration or the Biden family as a sort of a shield, with some critics saying that we now live in a one-party nation. Now, this becomes much louder when you realize how former President Donald Trump, the probable 2024 rival to President Biden, he's facing a lot of charges. I mean, there is a lot of charges that are going against this man. So it begs the question, are these government agencies just trying to protect the president? And are they targeting Trump because they fear that he may win next year? What do you guys think? Now, since we're already on the topic, let's go ahead and talk about Meghan McCain and how she wrote this article about Trump's federal indictment and how it may change the United States forever. So she says that the American people have always come together for a common cause, especially if it was for our country. But with the former president, she feels as if our world would be torn in two. Now, on the one side that believes that Trump should rot in jail, while the other side says that he's an innocent man and that other people have done the exact same thing that he has and face very little to no repercussions. So what do you guys think about this? Will the American people be torn apart because of this? Or will we somehow find a common ground and agree with each other? Now, me personally, I don't think that we'll ever just 100% agree with everybody. So I think that option's out. Now, speaking of possible, I didn't think that this next one would ever actually happen. So the FDA, or the Food and Drug Administration, has just revoked the emergency authorization of the Johnson & Johnson C-19 vaccine. You know who requested it? The company itself. Isn't that amazing? So according to them, there's no demand for their product. So what's the use of having it around, right? I guess it also doesn't help that some people suffered from blood clots by taking this variant of the vaccine, making it one of the most unpopular ones to date. Did any of you guys by chance get this jab? Now, thinking back to the health crisis, hearing of a vaccine that only took one jab seemed like an unbelievable feat for us, right? But hey, let me know what you guys think about today's updates in the comment section down below. Now, it's also unbelievable as to why we keep seeing the price of goods keep going up this quickly. Like, it's getting hard to keep up, right? I'm adjusting our budget every single week. It's absolutely crazy. But I digress, I'm just glad that my family and I can survive and still live comfortably, especially as our cash flow has only grown through the years. Now, I guess it really helps if you focus your energy toward a goal. I'm heavily invested in different markets. There's some in real estate, there's some in the stock market, and I've put a fair amount into gold and silver. And it's only possible because of making multiple streams of income. And if you ask me, what do? I would just say side hustles and small businesses. It's all about finding your niche. These are ventures that a lot of you ask me about. And since I can't really discuss it through every single comment that comes in, feel free to reach out to me through our Patreon group. There's a link in the description down below. Now, before I go, guys, please take a look at the videos right here. Go ahead and click on those right now. But before you go, please don't forget to drop a huge like for the video, share this video with all of your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. Appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one.